What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at a couple of new yellow Digimon that have gone and been revealed and quite frankly look pretty gosh darned awesome. I say yellow Digimon, we've actually got one Digimon and one tamer. But given that Pulsemon is, shall we say, increasing my love for yellow Digimon exponentially, that makes me a little bit excited to start talking about yellow Digimon. I should also mention that we are seemingly getting into reveal season for BT6, so there are going to be a few more days lately where we have a couple of Digimon videos in a day rather than the usual one. But as I've said on a number of occasions, I kind of pride myself on bringing you everything you need to know about Digimon. All the decks, all the cards, all the news, etc. If I didn't bring you all the news, well, I'd feel frankly a little bit sad. So, needs must, ladies and gentlemen. Needs must. We're going to start off with Powermon here. And what we've got is a new level 6, so it is an uncommon. So we're not expecting it to be game-breaking. But fingers crossed, eh? And what we've got here is an 11 cost to play normally, which is about right for a level 6. 3 cost to Digivolve, which is about right. But it can Digivolve either from yellow or green. So as much as we are talking about a new yellow Digimon here, we really do need to bear in mind that this can fit into a green deck just as easily. You have all been warned. And then we got 10,000 power, and I'm going to be honest with you here. 10,000 power is, not great. That is low for a level 6. Now, to be fair, we all as yellow players play Slash Angemon pretty regularly at the moment, and Slash Angemon is an 8,000 power. So we know that if the skills are there, we'll happily play weaker level 6s, but it is worth bearing in mind. The skill here is awesome. On deletion, you may play either one Rosemon or up to 2 yellow level 3 Digimon from your hand without paying their memory cost. I.e., not only can it Digivolve from either yellow or green, making it fit quite nicely into a yellow or green deck, but even the deletion skill here fits really nicely into yellow or green decks, or indeed some kind of hybrid. Now, it must be borne in mind that these are from the hand, so you've actually got to have them in your hand in order to play. If you don't have them in the hand, if they're in the trash or in your deck or whatever, you don't get them. And similarly, it's got to be Rosemon. For yellow, we're far more adaptable. You can play whatever yellow level 3s you like. But for green, it's got to be Rosemon. Now, at this stage, we need to pivot and go, well, hang on a second, how many Rosemon have we seen? Well, Rosemon is a level 6, and we've actually seen 2 different Rosemon. No, I'm lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. 3 different Rosemon. So we've got the Rosemon that came around in BT1. On your opponent's turn, when one of your Digimon attacks the player or security, if Rosemon is at rest, you rest one of your opponent's Digimon. Quite trendy early on for green. Never really ended up being a powerhouse as it goes, but certainly a lot of potential there to rest your opponent's Digimon. We got a Rosemon in the green starter deck, which when you Digivolve, you get to say that one of your opponent's Digimon can neither attack nor block until the end of their next turn. And I'll be honest with you, clearly here, that is garbage. Also, yay, we got official images for the starter decks and BT4 now. I am delighted. Because actually, the only thing that's really good and special about this is, to be fair, 10 cost play normally is a bit low, but it's basically your Digivolution skill, so no, nobody really cares. And then we got the Rosemon from BT5 that we don't, unfortunately, have the English image. Shout out to DigimonCard.dev for the translated proxy. And it's got Digiburst free, trash-free Digivolution cards to activate the following. All of your Digimon with Digiburst gain security attack +1. And this is kind of awkward because, again, it's a Digiburst skill, but if you play Rosemon for free from your hand, then you're not actually going to have any Digivolution sources, so you're not going to be able to use this skill, which kind of sucks. We do have the Powermon from BT5 that on deletion places the Powermon from your trash to the bottom of one of your green Digimon's Digivolution cards, and you can use that to build up free Digivolution cards and then use this skill, but come on. That is far, far too awkward, ladies and gentlemen. And what that essentially means is that there's only one actual option as it stands at the moment for Babamon in terms of Rosemon, and that is the one from BT1, which is still a really good card. Although always, always remember, there's going to be more Rosemon in the future. We've already had 3. I would be very willing to bet there will be a Rosemon in this set. This would be a weirdly specific skill to put on a card in BT6 if there wasn't a Rosemon in BT6. So you know what? I'm kind of into this. This seems cool. In terms of yellow Digimon, look, there are a million good yellow level 3s out there. We could go over to the very first promo pack, and we could talk about the Powermon, that if you've got 1 or fewer security, you get recovery +1. That is a 4 cost, which is awesome. And you recover a card, which again is clearly awesome. We could take advantage of the fact that we've now got those scans of BT4, the official English scans, and we could mention Bushy Agamon. That is a 5 cost, so you're getting value here, and it's got rush, so you can attack the turn it comes into play. So clearly Bushy Agamon is one of the best options here. Or another card from BT4 we could look at is Pulsemon. Now Pulsemon's weird because it's a 13 cost, 10,000 power level 3 that can't Digivolve, but, as in can't Digivolve from a level 2, you can Digivolve from it. But, well, to be fair, only into Pulsemon, and we haven't even seen any Pulsemon that can Digivolve into it yet, but maybe one day in the future. The point is, it's a weird card, but the only thing that matters is it's a level 3. And when you play it, you just recover 1, regardless of how many security you've got, so it's way better than Patamon, because you always recover 1, and it's got way more power, etc. But again, Babamon only works with cards that are already in your hand, so playing both Patamon and Pulsemon to try and increase your chances here would clearly be a very good thing. I love it. Sure, it's a deletion skill, but essentially you've got a 10,000 power Digimon. It ain't going to last all that long, and you get to play beautifully as well. I mean, I like the idea of just using this, and then when you know you've got, say, a Pulsemon in hand, just use it to take out a 10,000 power Digimon, knowing it's going to go down, but then you get Pulsemon. Or waiting until you've got a Pulsemon or a Bushy Agamon or whatever, and then you attack, you know it goes down, but then you get Bushy Agamon, and then you get another attack. Or you get Pulsemon, and then you get the recovery, etc. Because bearing in mind, if you play this and then delete it, you're getting an attack probably with Babamon, and you're still saving 2 memory on playing Pulsemon, and you can Digivolve up into this. You don't need to play it normally. I think this is a 5 WOSI card. Yes, I know that it's a lower rarity, it's not a super rare, it's an uncommon, etc. But as far as I'm concerned, what we've got here is just a phenomenal option for playing cards for free. If you're playing budget decks, this is going to be your new best friend in yellow. Although if you're playing budget decks, you might not have any Pulsemon, but you'll still have Bushy Agamon. You will be fine. Now, I promised you a tamer, and we've got it here. It is TK Takaishi and Kari Kamiya. And again, like we've seen in the other 2 tamers from this set, the tamers have all grown up. We're using older versions of them, and I don't know if I'm cool with it. I know it's thematically appropriate. I still don't know if I'm cool with it. What we've got here is a 4 cost to play normally, which is on the higher end. That same security skill we always see that lets you play the card without paying its memory. And at the start of your turn, if you have fewer security cards in play than your opponent, you gain 2 memory. Cool. Absolutely cool. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, memory is good. And secondly, if you want to manipulate memory, you want to play yellow decks. I mean, I showed you that Pulsemon earlier, but just to remind you what that Pulsemon actually does, when you play it, you can instantly go down to free security and then gain some memory for doing so. And then there's all kinds of other skills that activate when you've got free security. It's kind of what yellow do. So here, you can just crack along with this, knowing that you're going to get extra memory with this tamer as well. It's not the only way to do it. Of course, we've got plenty of other things we can do in yellow. Pulsemon jumps off the bat to me as just a combo from this particular set. But the fact of the matter is, in yellow, you can go lower and then build it back up again. Or you can go lower and take advantage of it. So yeah, that seems pretty good to me. There is another skill here as well. When your yellow Digimon attacks, you may suspend this tamer to give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 1,000 power for the turn. And this again is a kind of skill we've seen over and over again on yellow cards. Yellow cards love lowering power. Now, you're not going to get many deletions with this. There'll be the odd one, like for instance the Gabumon from BT1. Draws a card when you play it, only has 1,000 power. There will be times you will legitimately find a 1,000 power Digimon and be able to delete it. What is far more likely here is you're going to use this to break power ties. You're going to have an 11,000 power level 6 attacking into an 11,000 power level 6. So you use this to bring them down to a 10,000 power level 6, and rather than the pair of you being deleted, you delete them while surviving. Which is clearly a good thing. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm kind of a fan here. I am kind of a fan. I'm going to go ahead and give this 4 Wassies. I think there's a lot of potential here. And I'm also going to mix things up a little bit, because you knew this going into the video. I didn't. It turns out, literally, while I'm recording this, they have gone and revealed another yellow Digimon. And since we're already making a video looking at yellow Digimon, why don't we extend this video a little bit and look at this new Digimon which has just been revealed today. It looks very suspiciously like it might digivolve from Pulsemon. And you know I've made my love of Pulsemon pretty clear. And translation from Ensan Gaming, who is right on it with how quick they managed to translate and post this. And what we've got is level 4, 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to digivolve, 5,000 power. All standard, all normal, nothing particularly weird or exciting in terms of stats. But then, on your turn, while your security is 3 or more, you gain security attack +1. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. Now, on the one hand, it's clearly an evolution of Pulsemon, so I want to love it. On the other hand, I mean, look, try and follow this logic through with me, right? It's not that difficult. You're a 5,000 power Digimon with security attack +1. Well, you've got 5,000 power. So, unless you hit a Digimon with 1, 2, 3, or 4,000 power, or an option card or a tamer, you're going to get deleted when you attack the stack. And you got security attack +1, so the only reason to ever play this is to get the extra security attack. But the chances are that against the majority of decks, you're not going to survive the first security attack. So, as much as I love getting security attack +1, and I do, I'm not sure I'm going to survive the first security attack. I don't feel that confident. You know, whenever you attack the security, if you hit a 4,000 power Digimon and a 5,000 power Digimon survives, you go, oh, that's a nice bonus. That's a nice surprise. Didn't expect that, but I'll take it. There's that little bit of, oh, yay, I survived, I wasn't expecting it going on. You don't expect to survive. And if you're not expecting to survive, why are you going around with security attack +1? That seems counterintuitive. Not only that, but you've also got the situation going on where you need to have 3 or more security cards. Now, that makes it a great early game option, but it means that late in the game, it's just a vanilla card with uninspiring stats, which I'm not loving. Having said that, Rookie Rush? Or some other kind of Rush deck? You see, up until now in this video, I've been explaining to you why I'm not a big fan of this, etc. But I love this for emergencies. Essentially, it's only really good in the early game. When you get to the late game, you're probably going to not have enough security. And I know we got all kinds of recovery in yellow, and we can get it back up, but that's not something we can always rely on. And I've said that you're probably going to get deleted during the first security attack, so that extra security attack becomes irrelevant. And incidentally, I believe that. But we've all had a million games. I had one just the other day in a webcam tournament at my locals, where the game is not going your way. Where you're a couple of turns in, and you're looking at your opponent's board, and they've got a fully stacked Ragnarlordmon, which is already hitting security attack +3, and your deck just doesn't really have an answer because it's got reboot, so you can't even try and keep it asleep or suspended because it's going to reboot. Where you are going to lose this game unless you do something drastic. And that is where Bulkmon comes in beautifully here. Because this is a point in the game where you just go, all right, and you just go for it. And you take your tiny little 5,000 power level 4 and you try getting the extra security attack. And it probably won't work. You're probably still going to get deleted during the first security attack, and you're still probably going to lose the game. But there is a chance that you don't. And maybe you've got a couple of these, and actually you're sitting there on turn 2 or 3, and you're actually able to use 2 Bulkmon to take out 4 security cards, and all of a sudden you've won the game. Incidentally, they don't have to survive the second security attack. It's a nice bonus, but it's not the end of the world if they don't. It really is an emergency plan. I don't think it's something you want to rely on in the early game, because a lot of the time you're going to lose your level 4, you're not going to get the extra security attack, and you're going to have just had a fairly bad level 4 go down. It's not what you're relying on. But early in the game, if you think things are going wrong or you really need to rush, it's that kind of matchup, this can really jump you ahead super early. And for that reason, I'm actually giving it 4 Wassies. Maybe I'm overly enthusiastic because I love the evolution line. Maybe I'm just wishful thinking, but I tell you something for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Although there are going to be many games, and there will incidentally be many games where this doesn't do very much for you, there are going to be other games where this single-handedly wins you the game because you don't have an answer, but this can actually rush you to many cards at once, and that'll do, pig. That'll do. Now, before we finish, I do want to point out the fairly obvious combo with Pulsemon here. Obviously, this does work wonderfully with Pulsemon. Pulsemon will put you down until you've got 3 security, gaining 2 memory for every security card trashed. And then, while you've got exactly 3 security, you gain jamming. And as much as I love this combo and it's fun, I'm popping it on the end because I don't think it's going to work very often. Because you play Pulsemon, you go down to 3 security remaining, but remember you can't attack the turn you play it, so you've kind of got to hope that your opponent has no way to get rid of a security card on their turn. Then it comes back to you and you Digivolve up into Bulkmon, and then you've got security attack +1 and you've got jamming, and that is wonderful. But there's a lot of assumptions being made here. You've got to have both Pulsemon and Bulkmon ready to go, and you've got to have the memory to play Pulsemon and Digivolve it up, and you've got to have your opponent not getting rid of any security or having a way to recover any security that they do get rid of. And as much as it's a super fun combo, and there will be games, just to be clear, there will be games where you play Pulsemon, evolve into Bulkmon, maybe a couple of them, and then just start wrecking their security super early. But I don't think it's going to work often enough to really change my mind about this card. As always, would love to be wrong. But I want to know what you think about this and the other cards revealed, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.